What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Wine Talk TV. Let's grab a glass of wine and let's have a fucking conversation. So yeah, I was making this video here. I'm gonna give a shout out to pretty much all the YouTubers out there that are giving some pretty solid advice, solid content, and I felt like finally giving a shout out to Itspearlythings. She is really popular in the mainstream. She's finally somebody that is revealing the things and the harsh realities on the highest platform. And when I say she's giving, the harsh truths, I mean she's really, really doing her thing as it pertains to what men truly go through, as it pertains to, our dating lives, our relationships. What are our options, really? I mean, you don't really see much pushback from the media with Itspearlythings because she really does hold her own. She does a plethora of different things. She'll do street interviews. She'll do her own videos where she has like a little presentation where she gives she's in front of like a whiteboard. And she has a pretty solid podcast and panel where she brings on extreme personalities and she'll debate them respectfully. Only time people really get upset with her is if she triggers you. And she doesn't get triggered because she literally is somebody that has a cool demeanor, very chill, and she just states the facts. She states the facts and watches your reaction. And that's kind of like what you need to do when you're talking to people in the first place. I do that on a day-to-day basis. I don't get rattled. I suggest you guys do the same thing. You just ask people questions and you just chill. She literally does her thing as it pertains to just giving her opinion and then stating the facts. I mean, she knows when to give her opinion, and her opinion is her opinion. And she knows when the facts are the facts. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you can't refute the studies. And then she goes out on the streets and asks people questions about shit. And, what can you do about it? And YouTube, see, that's why I'm over at Rumble, because YouTube will try to censor this woman. They literally tried to ban this girl several times, ban her profile and her platform several times, but she keeps coming back, and she's going to keep coming back because she's so famous. So when you have, internet trolls and, little weasels like Destiny, who looks like he stays in his mom's basement and gets slapped around by women. I don't know the guy, but he looks like the type of guy you can kind of slap around. Try to take a woman out like this, of this magnitude. Kind of, you want to question things like that. It's like she's teaching you the things that you as a man should have probably already been taught by your father. Every man should be red-pilled. I think what really makes her channel stand out the most is the fact that we're seeing a female, like, really how her channel came about. She literally just discovered the red pill on like one of her videos. I don't think it's on the internet anymore. One of her videos, and you guys can search the internet and find it yourself on YouTube. She was literally getting red pilled in front of us, and she tells her origin story. She literally gets red pilled right in front of our eyes, like literally, when she realized, like, oh shit, like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me there's a community of guys that point out the, idiosyncrasies and the different types of women that are out there trying to use men for certain things, and you mean to tell me women do these things to men to get what they want? And wow, this is really manipulative. This is really crazy. Like, what are men doing to defend themselves, and why are women doing this type of behavior? And What type of society are we really living in? Yep. And going back to my point that I'm making is that I think her channel stands out because we're seeing we're seeing the red pill get digested in real time. Like, she's literally, her eyes are opening. Her eyes are wider as you watch her content. She literally is waking up. Now, see, I'm 30 years old, and when she released her content, she just got red pill. I've been red pill since I was 14. So the things that she's discovering, it's like, no shit, Sherlock, to me. But I just think it's fascinating that it makes sense for her channel to exist and for me to appreciate it so much because it's a female who's getting red pill. She has some pretty solid content that I'm going to be reviewing on my channel. And I just want to give a shout out to her because, you know, she's doing her thing. She is definitely somebody that I would recommend. So if you guys are out there, you know, specifically blue pill guys that I don't really give a fuck about, you guys are, you know, you guys could go to God knows where, you know, preferably not heaven. Let's just say that. I don't really appreciate the blue pillars, people out there that believe that women are these perfect little angels that literally, you know, when they fart, it's the scent of vanilla. No, when they fart, it smells like shit, you idiot. You know, Pearl will tell you literally how it is. She has a pretty solid following, and she has a good production, so she's going to give you a more rounded details of like how, you know, one thing in particular, I wanted to bring out her pyramid. I'm gonna do a video on her pyramid of the different types of manipulative women and different types of whores out there. And it's not so much, she's not so much trying to demean women or downgrade women or anything. It's more so she's pointing out the facts and the truth. She's pointing out that reasons why when marriages are the downfall, they fall because it's typically the educated woman or a woman that has a higher body count. She's going to be that 55, I think she said between 51 and 55% of marriages are a divorce is called off by a woman that's typically educated after she's had has a certain, you know, stature in her background, meaning like she's pointing that out because that's a masculine trait, and that's not to be a bad thing. Like, getting your education is not bad, but it definitely identifies that you're if you're a type of woman that goes out and you know you typically, you know, want to overachieve in the workforce, that's typically deemed as a masculine trait because the man is typically supposed to be the person that goes after things and wants to, you know, be the leader, be the one to delegate, you know, delegate who gets what role. You know, that's typically, you see that in a man. And when you see that in a woman, there's nothing wrong with that, but typically she has to give up a bit of her femininity, her soft touch, you know, just so she can come down with an iron fist. And now that may be good in the workforce, it can kind of sometimes leak over in her romantic life and her social life. And she usually, those type of women will, you know, they want to rule with an iron fist in their relationships. And for certain masculine men out there, or men by nature that are masculine, it kind of conflicts with, you know, their relationships and marriages. And then usually women who are not virgins, with a, you know, at least I think above a 5 body count, they typically will go ahead and, after, if they're not getting satisfied sexually, they'll just cancel the entire marriage or make the man just be okay with her moving on, you know, to another guy while he stays in the marriage. So, I mean, that's kind of fucked up because she knows the guy isn't going to go anywhere, you know. But yeah, you know, Pearl brings these facts up, like men aren't divorcing women. You know what I'm saying? And typically I agree with what she said when I agree with what Andrew Tate said. I'm not a follower particularly of Andrew Tate. He says a lot of things that they are legit. It's just his delivery and his demeanor kind of throw me off. But I'm not really a fan or a particular follower of Andrew Tate. I typically just scan the internet and give my fucking opinion. If you care, I don't care. For criticisms. But Andrew Tate, when he came on our podcast, he said that typically men don't really want to get married, not so much to, because they don't want to commit. It's more so they don't want to lose, and typically what he means by and what he's trying to say is that we don't want to lose because we see so many men that are losing right now. For example, Joe Smith and his wife. He falls down on hard times financially, and his wife is now taking a masculine role and publicly shaming this man. So that's another video I'm gonna have to make, most likely after this one. But Pearl definitely is educating guys on what the hell is happening, and women as well. She holds her own. Shout out to Pearl. Subscribe to her channel. I really appreciate the content that she drops because it makes a lot of fucking sense. And if you really look at her content, she's not bashing women. She's just pointing out the plot holes and the character flaws that a lot of women have. Damn near 90% of women, it feels like, have these weird ass character flaws where they get on OnlyFans. And that's another thing I want to point out. She helped me educate me on the fact that there are more OnlyFans girls than teachers. And that there are jobs out there in the world that women can have as much as men do, but women don't sign up for these jobs because they're too laborious or just too difficult. Like construction jobs, working in oil rigs, being at the highest level of specific fields. Those jobs are out there, but women don't take them. They rather go the route of, something that is a bit easier, like Instagram modeling or OnlyFans. That's just the facts. We have more OnlyFans models than educators. So, and then there are people like Joe Smith's wife, and I know I keep bringing that scenario up. I got to talk about that in another video. She doesn't count her previous work history of being an adult film star as a legit body count. And this is why, men don't want to get married. This is crazy. Women really have it backwards sometimes. Most of the time. I'm not even going to say something most of the time. So, as men, we have our flaws. We can be childlike, but women can be outright like childlike mixed with, you mix with some mystical backwards magic. They'll try to cause certain conflicts and then somehow blame you for it. And you sit there, if you're not smart enough, you'll sit there and believe what she's saying. And that pretty much wraps up the video. I just want to go ahead and give my 2 cents on Pertains. Shout out to her, subscribe to her channel. If you guys have any questions, leave your questions down below the description in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.